What's happening, guys? I'm Dan. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm diving into a Bell's beer that is brand new to distribution. They are piggybacking that Oberon name. It's going to be the Oberon Eclipse. So instead of their old winter Belgian-y beers, they kind of transitioned away from those. Now we're stepping into Oberon Eclipse again. They've kind of been piggybacking that bigger name, the Oberon. It worked really well for two-hearted. Now we have hazy-hearted, and then they kind of went with different varieties of the hearted series as well. So today we're diving into another Oberon, but this time something different. Eclipse is a citrus wheat with no real definition or no real details on the side of the can, but we do have orange coriander wheat, and it's clocking in at 6.3% ABV, so it's actually higher alcohol content than your standard Oberon. We have a canned on date of, I just can't tell because they stamp them so small. It says, I think it's a Best By date, guys, and I really dislike those because you can't really tell when it was canned on. It's got to be fresh, in the fresh realm, because it just came out literally this week. So there's bottles, there's cans. Today I elected to get the 16-ounce can. Going to be standard price point as your Oberon, so it's gonna be like $9-10 bucks for a 4-pack pint, and I think it's gonna be like $10.49 or $9.99 for your 6-pack bottles. That'll depend on where you get it from. Big box stores probably are gonna hug that $9.99 to $10.49, but we'll see what this one's about, guys. Again, it should be fresh, but I bet you this was done in mass distribution, so I bet you it was canned on a month or two ago at best, but it won't matter because we have a wheat today. So we are seeing a beautiful dark golden orange honey. Looks quite dark in the glass. Wow. A lot darker than your standard Oberon, I would say, but I don't have 100% lighting going on. It's murky. It's muddy water. Looking a lot darker than your standard Oberon from my memory banks. So we have a big frothy foamy head sitting on top, and again, guys, as my last review, I have a little bit of a sinus thing going on, so I don't think it's gonna flaw the review because I still feel okay. I feel pretty good. So but you can tell there's nothing really to talk about. She's hazy, she's dark orange, copper honey, all that good stuff. Let's go to an aroma. Light orange Belgian-y yeast, I would say. It's not a Belgian beer. I mean, they kind of, people market it that way, that it's like it's a Belgian-y wheat beer, but really at the end of the day, it's just a citrus wheat. So you're getting a little bit of that clovey coriander sitting on top. And I mean, I would say there's a little bit of that Belgian funk. I mean, truly, it's not as authentic as the other yeast strains would be if you go over to Germany and things like that. They're Hefeweizens. This one, it has a little touch of it. I'd say it's a little bit more pronounced than your Oberon. But other than that, it's got this like soft hoppy feel to it. It's got the soft coriander clove. Again, maybe a touch of that Hefeweizen yeast strain going on. Hard to say. Again, maybe my nostrils aren't working 100%, but it's the Eclipse Oberon, guys. I'm diving in. Cheers. Wow. Very orange forward. Like the orange citrus is very sharp. Quite smooth at 6.3%. A little bit of that peppery, clovey, yeasty thing. And it's got just this nice hoppy touch to it, to be honest, all the way through the beer. But it's smooth, it's soft, and it does leave a little bit of that hop pepper bitterness on the back end. But overall, wow, it's really good. It's like a deeper Oberon. Like it feels like there's more grit to this beer than your typical Oberon. Oberon feels like it was kind of softened up in the last few years. Like it just feels like it doesn't have the touch that it once had. It doesn't seem as hazy. It doesn't seem as authentic to the Hefeweizen category. Obviously, again, this is not a typical Hefeweizen. It is a citrus wheat, American wheat. But this does have that touch of the Hefeweizen vibes. It has that yeasty kind of graininess to it. It's got a little touch of authentic citrus. It's smooth, man. It's just a very good beer, actually. Better than I thought it would be. Again, more pepper, a little bit more hoppy bitterness to it. It's got the touch that Oberon does not have. And it leaves a little bit of that coriander in your mouth. It leaves a little bit of that pepper in your mouth. And just a nice hoppy touch at the end. So, do I like this? Yeah, it's actually a lot better than I anticipated. I thought this would kind of be like a swing and a miss, to be honest. This one's bringing those Hefeweizen vibes with a nice accent that you would remember of Oberon, but it's got more to it. Again, it's not as boring as Oberon. I feel like this has more touches of authenticity to it in that Hefeweizen category. Again, this isn't a Hefeweizen, but it has a little bit of that yeast strain, a little bit of that touch in it that does remind me of an authentic Hefeweizen with the American touch to it. So, rating, it's good. It's kind of chewy. It's soft. It's citrusy. It's a solid beer, man, for the price point. Is it going to blow you away? I don't know. It depends what you're expecting. For me, I wasn't expecting much, so I think this was a surprise to the upside. I think that this actually was where they had to go with this and get rid of the other winter whites and all of those things that were misses. I think using the Oberon name and actually making a solid recipe here that does reminisce of Oberon with a little bit extra grit is really what Bell's needed to do, and they did it. So I'm going to go with a 4 out of 5. I actually like this beer. I think it's solid, and again, the price point, the availability, all really good. So final thoughts. Maybe a little bit more maltiness, a little graininess to it. It just got more grit than your Oberon with a little bit more of the Hefeweizen vibes, a little bit more clovey coriander. A little more hoppiness. So, yeah, I enjoy this. I think you guys will like this one, too. It's been the Oberon Eclipse. Thank you guys so much for being here. Yeah, 4 out of 5. I'm Dan. I'm over and out. Cheers.